Hi, everyone. This is part two to the questions to Papa's Parrot. So if you haven't done part one, make sure you take care of those slides as well. So this one is 3 slides that we're going to go over, but I have an ask from you guys. I want to make sure that you respond to your answers on paper and pens with paper, or obviously in your notebook or your spec folder if you have it. Jot down your answers there, but I also want you to send us your responses through either email or your through a Google Doc. Share the Google Doc with us, just like you did your essays. That, and if all fails and you can get onto your Gmail account, go ahead and take a picture of it and upload it through Parent Square. That would be amazing. Have your parents help you out with that. Any way that you can do it, just share it with us if you are unable to send us a message, and we can help you out with that as well. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you so we can go over slide 1, 2, and 3. Okay, again, you can write it in your notebook or in your spec folder, but then we want you to type it up and send it to us through either Google Doc, Gmail, or take a picture of it and send it to us somehow. Okay, thanks guys. So let me share my screen. So let's look at the slides. This is the first one here. Okay, so today we're going to take a look at theme. What is the theme of the story Papa's Parrot? So let's read and see. You already read the story. If you, this is the great thing about being able to do this online, right? You can press pause and read the story again if you have to. But let's walk through it, or actually go through it really quick. And then if you need to pause and read the story again to respond, and then definitely do so. So what is the theme of this story? In your notebook, write a paragraph using evidence and supporting details from the text to explain the theme of Papa's Parrot. Okay, I gave you an organizer here so that you can get started. These are some things that maybe you want to include. If you don't feel like you need to include any of these sentences, or if you have your own way of writing it, that's perfectly fine. But this is just here to support you if you need it, okay? So I started off with, I believe the theme of Papa's Parrot is because The author, Cynthia Ryland, describes and then in addition, in the text we see how and then another example of why I believe the theme is the author writes. So make sure you're using evidence and supporting details from your text. And my final sentence that I wrote was, this makes me think that Cynthia wanted the reader to, okay? Remember, theme is what is the main, what is the story really focused on, or what do you take away, or the message from this story? I have some at the bottom of the screen here. I have some words, some common themes, and that you can select from according to what you think the theme of the story is. So the first one is here, you see, is friendship. Do you think the theme of the story of Papa's Parrot is friendship? Do you think it's good and evil? Do you think it's jealousy, betrayal, love, family, courage, perseverance, revenge, heroism, survival, peace and war, and deception? So what do you think the theme of Papa's Parrot is? I'm going to ask you to pause, think. If you need to read the story again, go ahead and pull out your paper and read it so that you can remember what the story is about. Or you have to go back to Ms. Maldonado's video as she read it to you, so you can refresh or remind yourself of what the theme might possibly be, okay? For those of you that listen to the story, Mofaro's Beautiful Daughters, remember that theme, or that theme to that story could have been good and evil, right? Jealousy, multiple themes could have gone to that story. So I want you to think about Papa's Parrot and what do you think the theme of this story is, okay? Go ahead and write it down in your notebook. Create your paragraph just like you see it here. And don't forget, when you're done with all 3 slides, we want you to respond by sharing it through an email or through Google Docs. You would go to your drive and share it through Google Docs or even taking a picture and sending it somehow, okay? All right, go ahead and pause if you need to take that time. And when you come back, we'll move on to the next slide. Okay, guys, welcome back. So part A here, there's a 2-part question to these questions for Papa's Parrot. So part A says, select the sentence that gives the best inference about Harry. What can you infer about Harry? Now that you know what type of person he is, what does he do with, what does he do for his dad, and how does the story end, if you can recall? He realizes that his father his father loved him a lot, and that's the reason he bought that parrot, to keep him company. And we see that at the end of the story, Harry feels a certain type of way. So let's see if you can infer and pick out what you think you can infer about Harry. So A is Harry is a playful young man. B, Harry is remorseful. C, Harry is curious. Or D, Harry is dishonest. So I want you to think back and think, does any of these A, B, C, or D would be your answer? Use the process of elimination to help you. And then part B, when you're done selecting your answer for part A, part B says, which sentence best supports your response from part A? So after you selected your answer in the first part here, I need you to think about which sentence here helps support the answer that you selected here. So I'll read you the these 2 little small paragraphs that shows what maybe you can pin out or pull out what helps you support your answer from part A. So Harry sighed and wiped his face on his sleeve. He watched the parrot. He understood now. Someone had been saying for a long time, "Where's Harry? Miss him." Harry finished his unpacking, then swept the floor of the shop. He checked the furnace so the bird wouldn't get cold. Then he left to go visit his papa. Okay. Which sentence here helps support your response from part A? Okay. If you need time, go ahead and pause the video. Okay. Thank you, guys. Let's move on to the last slide. Okay, this last slide for Papa's Parrot. This one is 2 questions here. So the first one says, why do you think Harry's father never asked Harry to come by and visit him at the candy and peanut store? Your response would sound something like, I think his father never asked him to come by because use evidence and examples from the text. Don't forget, okay? Last sentence, what inference can you make about Harry's feelings towards candy and nuts? So remember at the beginning of the story, it says that Harry is a certain age and he spends all day at his father's shop. And he says that he doesn't like candy. So what inference can you make? I'm going to read this to you. Cynthia writes, though his father was fat and merely owned a candy and nut shop, Harry Tillian liked his papa. Harry stopped liking candy and nuts when he was around 7. But in spite of this, he and Mr. Tillian had remained friends and were still friends the year Harry turned 12. Your response should sound something like, I can infer Harry likes or dislikes, you decide, because I think, So why do you think why do you think Harry, pretty much the question here is, why do you think, or what can you infer about Harry's feelings towards candy? Why is it that he doesn't like candy anymore? Okay. Take a minute. I'll go ahead and pause, respond to your questions on paper. And don't forget, guys, make sure that you go on Google Docs and create a page so that you can share it with your teachers so we can take a look at your responses. If you can, share it through a Gmail, an email, sorry, share it through an email, or again, take a picture and upload it somehow so you can share it with the teachers, even through Parent Square if you have to, okay? I hope you guys are having a good time. I know we are having a good time doing our lessons and making sure that you guys are able to keep learning while we're at home. And again, the beauty of this is that you get to pause and do it at your own pace and make sure you have the time that you need to read or reread if you have to. So don't forget, make sure you finish and complete, share it with us, and we'll definitely respond as we message back and forth, okay? Have a good day.